A very, very good evening to all who are attending this evening. I'd like to just quickly introduce what we're going to talk about today. I think a lot of students and parents, especially, they're looking forward for the schools to reopen. So, what are the challenges that one might face when the schools are open again? Just give me a second, please. Sorry. So, post-pandemic education, I think it has shined a very harsh reality and on the vulnerabilities and challenges that the humanity is facing today. And also, I think it's provided a perfect example and a very, very clear picture of what a VUCA world really looks like and where we live in today. And living in it, what have we learned from it? What are the steps that we need to take going forward? What should we expect? What should we not expect? Because I think that is equally important in this scenario. What to expect is a very understood question, but what not to expect is something that we have to be mindful about. Life is about moving on, and we're facing big challenges. I think a lot of us have experienced human loss. We've experienced fear of life. And, we've lost loved ones. We've lost people who were closer to us. It's impacted us in a very, very different way, socially, emotionally, spiritually. And, but as you say, the life doesn't stop and we have to keep moving on. So today's session, we're going to talk about back to school post COVID time. And with me, I have four wonderful panelists, and I'm going to quickly introduce first Dr. Vasudha Nilmani. She's the author of the book Gratitude, the Purpose of Life, for which she's received an Aspiring Authors Award of the Year. She's also a profound educationist for over 28 years of experience spanning across teaching, administration, mentoring, and advisory roles. She's also a double master's in psychology and education and a special educator by profession. Dr. Neelmani has worked towards bringing about decisive changes in the Indian ecosystem, education system and also put it on par with global standards. She's been consulting numerous schools to implement international curriculums and has conducted various audits in different schools. Not only that, she's also a certified career coach. She's also been an inspector and auditor in British curriculum schools. She's published many articles in leading magazines that she's presented papers in IIT Delhi. She's a blogger. She writes in the field of education, technology, spirituality, life skills, and many other diverse topics. This doesn't finish here. She's also been awarded in various platforms nationally and internationally. I think, to name a few, Avantika Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Award in 2018 as one of the top 50 principals in India. In 2019, she was recognized as Best Innovative Principal. In 2020, she was the most innovative education leader. That's the award she got. And she's also been awarded a Real Superwoman Award for her contribution in the field of education and life coaching. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of the panel today.
Thank you so
Uh,
much, Ms. Anju. Thank you so much. It's a
yes, and there's
pleasure.
lots more that I can add, but I think this is very, very important for us to know. Also, we have along with us Dr. Kshitija Singh. She is a career and guidance counselor at Hope Town Girls School, Dehradun. It's a 100% residential school. She's a PhD in economics, a career and college counselor at Hope Town Girls School, Dehradun, certified by UCLA and IC3 Institute. She has over 20 years of experience as a teacher, principal at a hotel management college, founder, trainer, and a beyond classroom skills company. Also, as a career counselor at school, visiting faculty at universities, a teacher trainer at other schools, looks to pursue as counseling movement to help the maximum number of people to take right decision. I think Kshitija, this is very little that you've written about yourself. We know how I think you engaged you are with the whole education community, and it's an honor to have you with us.
Thank you so much,
Next,
Anu. Thanks a lot.
next panelist we have is Ms. Prabjot Kaur. She's a career counselor at Kunskap Sloan School, which is a school of knowledge. Am I right, Prabjot? That's how we call it.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, school of
It's a
knowledge. Yeah.
Swedish school of knowledge. She's a psychologist for 7 years now and has been dealing with schools and organizational counseling, teaching psychology. And due to her passion for career counseling, now she's exploring in the same field for the last few years. We have another very, very dynamic person. Don't go by the age, as they say, Dhwani, a very young, dynamic counselor at the Kalyani School, Pune. She's extremely passionate about clinical and school psychology, passionate clinical and school psychologists who divides the time between counseling, training, and consulting. In her counseling practice, she delivers career guidance, cognitive behavior therapy, and other therapies with an eclectic approach, tackling wide range of emotional, behavioral, and adjustment problems amongst the students primarily. Also, Dhwani has completed her master's in clinical psychology. She's finished career counseling certificate course from IC3. She's now exploring her learning into the career counseling. So, thank you so much, everyone. And without wasting much time, I think we'll get to the topic that to discuss. Back to school post COVID time. And my first question is to you, Dr. Vasudha, ma'am. So we want to know about impact of pandemic on school education that literally moved to cloud overnight. We were not ready, but it didn't look like we were not ready because whoever I've spoken to till date, I think everybody said that within 3 days, 10 days, 1 week, 15 days, everybody was literally back, in a virtual format. So, what was the impact on the education when that shift happened? And probably we could also hear from you what were the major learnings from it?
Uh, Thank you so much, Ms. Anju. See, how I perceive it, how I put it. I am a school principal in a small town, Udaipur, in Rajasthan. But yes, we are a very very progressive school. So I remember last year when it was announced that from 15th of March there will be a lockdown, complete lockdown for 2 weeks, and students will not be able to attend schools and all that. And it was in my mind, and I was sharing it with my director. I told him that let's start. Virtual online classes, and he was little apprehensive because it was, I think, the first time some school was doing it in Udaipur. But of course he had that confidence in me, and I remember doing, taking pilot classes amongst ourselves. So the first platform was Zoom, and you won't believe, 15th was it, and 18th we were all rolled in. I mean, from 18th, Rockwood's International School was the first school to start these online classes. And yes, from that journey has been long. It has been, it has evolved. I would say it has been full of challenges because we started with the Zoom platform. Then there was some security issues were there.
Yeah.
Then I went on to Edmodo just to share it with them. Then we had Cisco WebEx. There it took a lot of bandwidth. It took a lot of space. Then then finally we moved on to Google Meet, and we still continue with that. But having said that, I pay gratitude to all the teachers, I would say, because it was very very challenging for them overnight. Somebody, peeping into their houses all the time, I think those 3 4 months were very very tough, where I remember being the on a lighter note, being the school principal also, I knew that I had to cook, I had to clean, I had to
Yes.
wash utensils, I had to do everything. My daughter was with me, and then you were all ready for the classes 8:30 a.m. in the morning. How we evolved was that last year we took classes for 3 hours only. um, then a time came where it was a hybrid learning model, where for some time before the second wave, students had started coming to the school, the senior students. So at that time we were having a combination of both the things, wherein a few students families were in the containment zone, or they were suffering from, their family members were suffering from COVID. So at the same point in time, we had the online and offline sessions moving in sync together. So that was there. And then the second wave came, and again, we thought we'll be able to open the school, but we couldn't. So the greatest learning was, because to actually counsel and sensitize the students, the parents, sensitize the teachers, that this is the only model that is going to work, and let's give our 100% to this model. So journey is still tough. It is challenging, because I start my school at 8 o'clock, and it goes till complete till 2 o'clock, and for my senior classes it's 3 o'clock. But what we have done is we have given them ample breaks in between. Uh, like a watchdog, I would say that I am keeping a track of all my classes, wherein we are ensuring 100% attendance, wherein some, and with their cameras on,
On,
because
yes, yes.
that was pretty challenging, because last year, because of I could sense that that when the cameras were off due to bandwidth issue or network issue, or what, the learning was not taking place. The
Yes.
ultimate goal of us, me as a school principal, is that to ensure that learning should not stop. And I don't mince my word. I'm being very very candid in saying this. Unfortunately, school education or high school education was not the government's priority.
Yes.
Education
It is
was
very
not
sad.
on the list. So we had to manage things ourselves. On the record, that so many rural schools, the government schools, teachers are teaching on WhatsApp, or they only just give the content to them, so there is no live
Right.
interaction. And hats off to many progressive schools or many private schools. Government may say anything about us, we don't care, because we are the ones who have ensured that learning should happen the way it is happening. I have seen my teachers, actually mollycoddling, or pampering, or giving that emotional support to the students who have lost their parents, who have lost their mothers, giving that emotional strength, spending online only, spending time with them one on one later on. And the work doesn't stop after 2 o'clock also. My teachers are working till 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Right now also, one of my student is in US for his vaccination, and for him we are running classes morning
At
6
this
to 7
time.
and evening 7 to 8. So it is all about passion. It is all about how you are leading your team, how best you can give to the students in the education. And I always believe that where there is a will, there is a way. So we
So,
have to move forward, and I think these are historic times. So and everybody is going to remember this. We The upcoming generations, our children, us. And it is like, tough times don't last, tough people do. And yes, these times are still challenging, I would say.
so, ma'am, just a question. Do you think what are the problems that the students are most likely to face if they come on campus now? I mean, after such a long break, when they come to campus, how do you think, will we have some sort of different challenges for offline classes?
Of course, we will have. See, one, right now, students are taking classes from their very known home atmosphere. So they are very, very
Mhm.
used to it. Now, getting up early, I mean, my own daughter takes bath at 5 o'clock in the evening. I have to, push her, okay, now go, your classes have started, your classes. So she does, but she says, okay, chill, I'm from home,
Yeah.
I'm taking my
I think
classes.
it's become a different normal.
It's a different norm altogether, and I am okay with that. But Anju, unfortunately, forget about the academics, forget about the studies, forget about the education. Right now, when the students are there with us, we have to be their emotional anchors. We have to provide. My teachers have to provide their shoulders to lean on, to cry on, because there have been so much loss of loved ones, that you have said, that we have to really handle these little ones with care, with lot of love, with lot of affection. And I think after that, everything will fall in place. So having said that, we as adults also, we have gone through a lot. Personally, I lost both my mother-in-law, father-in-law in a day to COVID. So I am still, coming out of that trauma, that it happened, 3 months ago. But yes, for me, work is a stress buster. So after 4 days, I was back to work. But still, so when I why I'm sharing this example, being close to now being 50 years, if I am going through that trauma, now imagine a child of 12 years old, 13 years old, who has lost his parent. And there was a report, there are around, I think, if I'm not wrong, 25 to 30,000 children who have been orphaned due to COVID. So providing that emotional support, providing that lot of love, care, affection, I think that matters the most. I think teachers are, I always consider teachers to be, superhumans,
Superhuman.
or everybody who's here, working with students are superhumans. We will manage academics, we will manage studies. Marks don't matter. I always tell, I still have few friends who were gold medalists, or who were having 100 on 100 in all the subjects, and they are homemakers, doing pretty well for themselves. And being a homemaker is nothing wrong in it. But at the same point in time, people like me, who were average children but all rounders, pretty well for themselves, I would feel. So there will be different kind of atmosphere, different kind of challenges. And my message to all the schools and all the teachers would be this only, that handle your children emotionally, with lot of love, with lot of care. And
Absolutely.
there is a beautiful quote that says, children who have love, who found love in their homes, they come to school for education. But children who don't have love at their homes, they come to school for love. So we have to be second family to them, second mothers, second fathers, the male
Yes.
teachers, and we have to give them that emotional support. And to have that confidence. To parents also, I would say, trust your school. If you have put your
Absolutely.
children into that school, you have to
I
trust them
trust
that
you.
the schools are doing best for your child. It
Yeah.
is a teamwork. It is, I mean, right now, also, every month I'm meeting my parents virtually to tell them that, how's your child progressing, why the camera is not on, why the work is not happening, or why is he not attending classes. So today only I was meeting somebody, and he said he was talking to a school principal, who said that it is just attendance is just 50 to 60%. I said, no, my attendance is close to 99%, and sometimes it's 100% also, because I'm very, very particular. So it's the way how you lead your team, and how
Absolutely.
progressive you are as a school leader.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your views. Now, I'll move to Dr. Shitija. So, in the times, these were the times where things were really not in our control, and we had no choice not to accept. It was there, and we had to accept it. And that's what pandemic actually taught us. So how do you think we can make this time? We can't change it, right? I mean, there's certain changes we can do within ourselves, but we can't change the situation, broadly speaking. So how do you think we can make a memorable experience and learn from it, and also rather appreciate the opportunities it has provided to all the stakeholders, whether it's student, teachers, or rather, the entire learning community. Even parents have become learners and teachers now. So I would like to know your perspective, and you can also bring in some elements of how residential schools, deal with a situation like this.
So Anju, like as you know that I've come from fully residential school. So, it was little difficult for our students and as well as for the parents community, because overnight the situation changed. I mean, the parents, and we had few students from abroad as well, from India, different parts of India. So the situation changed. It was panic that we had to send the children home. But yes, as ma'am Vasuda ma'am said, that we had to do this. I mean, there was no choice.